The film starts with a man named Walker, who has a lot of drugs and money in his cabin, which he sets on fire. And then we are shown a truck being chased by the police because drugs were hidden inside a washing machine in that truck. Despite heavy firing from multiple police cars, the people in the truck manage to escape, except one police car that stays close until the smugglers throw a washing machine on it, badly injuring the officer inside and forcing the car to stop, while the backup call goes unanswered, leaving the criminals with the drugs. Next, Charlie and his 3 companions arrive at a club with the money they earned by selling those drugs, which they now plan to repay to a gangster from whom they had borrowed. But as soon as Charlie enters, his uncle Ching steps out and notices a car with 3 masked men carrying guns. Moments later, he gets a warning message to run, and Charlie's 2 companions waiting outside also spot the masked men and urgently alert Charlie's friend inside to escape before it's too late. The masked men storm the club, open fire, and chaos erupts, killing many people, while the news of the shootout also reaches Walker and his partner Ellie, who are revealed to be police officers and quickly arrive at the scene, only to witness a horrifying sight of corpses and blood everywhere. Checking the CCTV footage, Walker recognizes Charlie but denies knowing him in front of the police, and then he visits a politician who turns out to be Charlie's father, showing him the footage and warning him that his son is clearly visible and will get dragged into the case. But the frightened politician threatens Walker in return, reminding him of his dark past where he bribed official lawyers to close his own case. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the mother, the leader of the gang from whom Charlie and his friends had taken money, while her son, the gangster, comes into play. Charlie and his friends return the money, but during the exchange, a firing takes place in which the gangster is killed, leaving his mother deeply saddened and furious. She points a gun at her brother Ching, demanding to know how her son died and where Ching was at that time, to which Ching replies that her son had sent him out earlier, and when she questions how he survived, it is revealed through Ching's memory that he had prior information about the attackers and escaped. But he hides this truth from his sister. Meanwhile, Walker continues his hunt for Charlie and visits a nearby clinic where injured survivors are being treated. Threatening one boy, he learns that 3 masked men suddenly opened fire, killing and injuring many, but the boy knows nothing more. Walker then goes to the hospital to meet his injured colleague, the one who was crushed by the washing machine, but other officers stop him as they believe Charlie was the one who threw it, and they suspect Walker might protect Charlie due to his connections with Charlie's father. Instead, Walker meets the injured officer's wife, who reveals that her husband had spoken to her just before the accident, mentioning Walker's name and saying that 5 police officers were going to be in big trouble, which triggers flashbacks of Walker's past, showing how he and fellow officers used to steal and deal drugs, and when one of them tried to expose him, Walker killed him, leading to a case that was later buried with the help of Charlie's father, something the politician still uses to blackmail Walker into finding his son. The scene shifts to Charlie and his friend visiting their uncle, requesting help to make fake passports so they can escape. While back at the station, Walker's partner Ellie shows him a photo of Charlie's mother, revealing she's a gangster whose son was killed in the club shootout, and warns that she won't stay quiet. Just then, Walker's boss reprimands him, threatening to fire him for refusing to identify Charlie in his statement, reminding him that the police are not blind. Later, Walker learns from another companion that the girl with Charlie used to work at a dump yard, and in the next scene, we see Charlie's father stuck in traffic when 2 men on bikes suddenly attack him and force him to talk to someone over the phone. Same gangster mother whose son was killed in the club shootout, and she calls Charlie's father, blaming his son for her son's death and demanding Charlie at any cost, which leaves the politician terrified. Meanwhile, Walker reaches Mia's workplace, where he meets her uncle and questions him about Mia. At first, the uncle refuses to say anything, but when Walker threatens him with his ID, he admits that Mia and Charlie are preparing to flee the country, after which Walker warns him that if the police come asking about him, He must deny everything, or else he'll kill him. On the other side, the gangster mother captures Charlie's third companion, who, scared for his life, pleads innocence and explains that he was outside the car that night and only saw 3 masked men enter the club and start the firing, claiming he knows nothing about Charlie but has information about Mia and can lead her to them if spared. Next, Walker goes to the club where he gives Mia a passport he brought from her uncle and warns her that both the police and the gangster mother's men are after her, urging her to cooperate if she wants to survive. But when he asks for Charlie's address, Mia denies knowing anything and suddenly points out the police officers who have just arrived. Shocked, she reveals that one of the masked men she saw during the club attack had the same face as the officer approaching them, leaving Walker stunned. The supposed officers confront Walker, but instead of acting like police, they threaten him like gangsters, demanding that he hand over Mia since her friend has caused them huge losses. But Walker refuses, claiming he needs her. This sparks a violent fight between Walker and the 3 corrupt officers, during which the gangster mother's men also arrive, immediately opening fire on Mia. Despite Walker's attempts to shield her, they are heavily outnumbered, forcing Mia to fight alongside him for survival, and the chaos escalates further as the corrupt police and the gangsters' men clash with each other over who gets Mia, until finally, Charlie himself arrives at the scene to save her. Mia's life is put in danger as soon as Charlie arrives, since everyone begins firing at him too, forcing Walker to grab Mia and run toward Charlie, telling him that only he can save their lives. While escaping, the 3 corrupt police officers shoot at them from behind, but they somehow make it outside, only to find the gangster mother's men waiting, who immediately open fire, during which Mia discovers that one of her own friends betrayed them by informing the gangster mother. Despite this, Walker, Charlie, and Mia manage to escape both the police imposters and the gangsters' men.
Walker then calls Ellie and reveals shocking information. The 3 police officers chasing the drug truck that day were never after the criminals, but were actually imposters linked to the drug mafia who only wanted the drugs. To cover their tracks, they set up their own colleague by pushing him into the accident, ensuring his death would hide their secret. But since he survived, his life is now in danger. Walker instructs Ellie to protect that officer, also exposing that the unknown gunmen at the club were these same officers. Meanwhile, the corrupt officers, now reduced to 2, receive orders from the gangster mother's brother to kill the injured officer before he can expose them. Ellie arrives at the hospital but finds Ching there, who ruthlessly shoots the injured officer and even kills the officer's wife in front of her. Ellie fires back, wounding Ching in the leg and capturing him. Later, when she checks Ching's phone, she intercepts a call from the corrupt officers and uses it to set a trap, successfully catching them as well. Meanwhile, Walker hides Charlie and Mia at his house and calls Charlie's father, only to discover that the politician has already been captured by the gangster mother, who then learns about Charlie's location. Her men storm Walker's house, engaging in heavy gunfire, but Walker and Charlie defend themselves, killing intruders attempting to break in. Soon, the gangster mother's right hand, a deadly combat champion, arrives and brutally fights Walker, beating him until he is exhausted and nearly finished. But Walker manages to kill her with a gun at the last moment. Outside, however, Charlie and Mia are captured along with Charlie's father. The gangster mother blames Charlie's father for her son's death and declares she will make him feel the same pain by forcing him to kill Mia, handing him a gun and ordering him to shoot. Just before he can, Ellie arrives with the captured corrupt officers, revealing the truth. It was the officers and the gangster mother's own brother who were responsible for her son's death, while Charlie and Mia were innocent, only trying to return the borrowed money. Enraged by the betrayal, the gangster mother turns her gun on her brother, but before she can fire, he shoots her first, killing her on the spot.
After this, the corrupt police officers who had disguised themselves during the club attack try to kill Charlie and Mia, since they were the only eyewitnesses of that night. But Charlie's father steps in front of his son, taking the bullets himself and sacrificing his life. Witnessing this, Walker rushes out, shooting at the attackers to protect Ellie and the others, and in a rage, he ruthlessly kills one of the corrupt officers, leaving only one alive, who grabs the bag of money and runs. Walker chases him down, eventually shooting him too, but before dying, the officer manages to shoot Walker, injuring him badly, though not fatally. The scene then shows the aftermath of the bloody battle. Almost everyone is dead, yet Charlie and Mia manage to survive and attempt to escape in a car. But Ellie stops them, warning that it would be wiser to surrender to the police since their crime is comparatively minor, only involving drug theft, and in custody, they would at least be safe. Whereas if they ran, Ching and his men would surely hunt them down and kill them. Ignoring her advice, Charlie and Mia flee anyway, leaving Ellie behind. Soon after, Ellie finds Walker, who admits that he too deserves to be arrested, confessing that he had been protecting criminals all along, but asks her to deliver a gift to his daughter. Just then, the sound of multiple police sirens fills the air, closing in on the scene, and with that, the movie comes to an end.